Your house just burned down. Now, what are you going to do? Fear holds a lot of beginners back from getting started in real estate. What if I lose money on the deal? What if I can't find the right contractors? What if something bad happens, like a fire starting? Unfortunately, this last one actually happened to me on a deal. I'm going to walk you step by step as to what happened and how you can deal with it in the future. This is my house, or was my house. I bought it back in 2019. We renovated a bit and rented it out. It actually came with a tenant when we bought it, and so we just kept them in there. But that was 2019. And 2020, if you're familiar, coronavirus happened. They had some trouble paying. They were late a couple times. We gave them slack. Eventually, they caught up. But then everyone realized it's better if they would just move out into something more affordable for them and their family. So that's what they did. They moved out. And upon switching utilities from them to us, that's when the fire started and a part of the house burned down. So we had a perfectly functional rental, but that was damaged, and now no longer anybody could live in it. We did get lucky that the damage wasn't worse. The utility company was there when it happened, so they were able to call the firefighters ASAP. So what happened next? I had to call the insurance company, fill them in as to what was going on, and they sent out an assessor just to see what damage there was and how much everything would cost and how much they would reimburse us. Also, part of the process was to get a local fire marshal out there to assess the cause of the fire. They wanted to make sure that I didn't start the fire to just collect insurance money. So we did that entire process, took about a month or two, and we ended up settling with the insurance company for $48,824.79. So we had a choice at this point. Should we sell it as is and collect the funds, or should we fix it up and sell it? Since I had already been doing flips and I still do flips, I figured I would flip it, fix it up and sell it. So we searched for a contractor to help us with this. Because it was a fire damage property, we had to find a special type of contractor, a fire damage restoration specialist. A lot of them were busy. A lot of them turned us down. A lot of them weren't able to do the work at a good budget. But eventually we did find one that was able to get the work done. They started the work and it was a whole process. I didn't get all the funds released at once. I had a portion released, about half at first, and then the rest was to be released upon completion of certain milestones. The renovation took a lot longer than expected, but it was really on the contractor's side. We got everything done on our side in terms of paperwork that we needed. They just maybe took on too many projects, or they were just too busy, or maybe they just weren't as experienced as we thought they were. The fire happened on December 10th, 2020. We started renovation in May of 2021, and we finally ended in March of 2022. We eventually finished up the property, got all our funds, listed it for sale. It was back when the market was much hotter than it was, and the property did go fast. We had multiple offers, and we listed on April 18th, 2022, and had it under contract by April 20th, 22. So 2 days. After all that, you think we'd make a huge profit, but that's actually not true. We ended up breaking even on that one. It was a great deal when we started, but the insurance company didn't pay us enough, and then the contractor was dragging us along. We still had to pay the mortgage payment every month, which really whittled away at our potential profits. That's why it was break even. Overall, I'm glad we sold it. I'm glad it's off my shoulders so I can move on to the next project. So what's the lessons here? There's 3 I want to share with you guys. 1, make sure you have insurance in the property. This would have been a much bigger nightmare if we had to pay everything out of pocket. 2, always buy right. The deal when we bought it was a great deal. Yes, lots of things went wrong, but it ended up being break even, which isn't terrible. It would have been a lot worse if we lost money because we bought wrong at the beginning. Number 3 is, this is the problem with statistics. If there's a 1% chance of something happening and you do that thing 100 times, that's going to happen at least once to you. Just realize when you get into this, all these nightmares and fears, yes, they suck. And yes, you go through them, and yes, you work through it, but then you work through it and you realize it wasn't so bad. Like for that property, yes, it took longer than expected, but we eventually sold it and were able to move on. So this is relevant to once you get started flipping, a lot of your worst nightmares are going to come true. You realize they weren't so bad. So you'll have more confidence in moving forward to the next deal and the next deal. I'm going to throw in a bonus number 4 here as well. Be very picky with your tenants. When we bought this property, we inherited the tenants. The previous owner had the tenants in there. We kept them, and we ended up renewing them for another lease. I had a gut feeling that was a mistake. When it comes to rentals, about 80% of your success is going to come from tenant selection. Now, I'm not blaming them for what happened in terms of starting the fire. I don't think they started the fire. I just have a gut feeling as well that, like, if I had better tenants, then this wouldn't have been a problem. That's my summary of what happened when I had a fire damaged house. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I also have a free Facebook group. I'm going to put the link in the description below so you can check it out. I have free resources, tips, tools, a lot more juicy content to help you guys get started flipping houses. We'll see ya.